still have some catching up to do on this show, so I'll fill you in on the antics of Canada's #1 enemy, Emperor Harper. A couple of weeks ago, the Speaker of Parliament, sort of the referee of the House, finally ruled that the Harper Conservatives have to hand over uncensored documents to Parliament regarding how to train Afghan war prisoners. He gave Harper 2 weeks to hand them over or be charged with contempt, which in plain English means that some of the Harper government could be arrested or expelled from office. So, what's happened since then? Well, Harper really only has a few options. One is to simply follow the law and hand over the evidence that the torture investigation needs, especially since the Conservatives constantly scream that they're the only ones in Canada who are tough on crime. What's been suggested is a compromise where the Harperites hand over the documents to Parliament behind closed doors because they're supposedly really sensitive to national security. Yeah, sure, didn't McCarthy try that bullshit in the 50s? Anyway, if that really is an issue, then that would make some sense. Then there are Harper's own approaches, which are the following. Either pick and choose which documents to release, completely missing the point of a direct order, to say nothing of how this encourages people to think that they've got something to hide, or to actually force an election over it. Are you fucking serious? Harper, you're an idiot. You've already been accused of covering up a major war crime. On top of that, you've definitely broken the law further by obstructing an investigation and withholding evidence, something that you're actually taking pride in, I might add. Do you really want to fight an election specifically because you've broken the law? Any halfway competent opponent could kick your ass with one hand tied behind their back. All they'd have to do is replay your entire behavior over the last year. By the way, if you go to the Governor General and actually convince her to close down Parliament again, especially over a legal matter, then you both should be locked up. Then there's one last option that's been suggested, that Harper will just let the deadline go and pass the buck on to the Supreme Court to decide whether or not a parliamentary order that Harper is obliged by the Constitution to obey is negotiable. I should point out that Harper is already the first Prime Minister in 130 years to have closed Parliament to avoid non-confidence votes and criminal investigations. He is now the only Prime Minister in any Westminster democracy to be on the brink of being thrown out and put in jail. By the way, the last guy in such a democracy who tried to overthrow Parliament was King Charles I of England, and he was executed for it. So what exactly makes Harper think he will get out of this with his ass intact? Oh, screw it. If there was any such thing as justice left in this country, he never would have gotten power in the first place. Enough said.